All right, welcome. In this briefing, we are going to break down one of the most critical parts of any successful business, transportation. For anyone who wants to lead in business, understanding how things move from point A to point B, well, it's not just about operations, it's about strategy. So let's dive in.
Really think about that for a second. We all take it for granted, right? You click buy online, and suddenly this incredibly complex global ballet of logistics just kicks into gear. That ballet is exactly what we're here to understand. It's the physical network that makes the entire global economy work.
So let's get a clear foundational definition on the table. At its absolute core, transportation is simply the movement of a product. But, as you're about to see, that simple act of movement has massive implications. And that's because products are almost never ever produced and consumed in the exact same spot. Now, this right here is a critical point. I want you to stop thinking of transportation as just moving boxes. It is the engine of commerce. It dictates how fast you can respond to your customers. It's a huge slice of your product's final cost, and it even influences massive decisions like where you should build your warehouses. Seriously, you get this right, your customers are happy. You get it wrong, and your entire business can struggle. Okay, this is the fundamental trade-off that every single supply chain manager deals with every single day. On one side, you've got responsiveness. You want things fast, reliable, with short lead times. On the other side, you've got efficiency. You want it cheap, taking advantage of economies of scale with huge shipments. Here's the catch. You almost never get both. Your entire transportation strategy is about finding the perfect balance on this scale for your specific business. So, how do you actually manage that trade-off? Well, you start by understanding your toolkit. I want you to think of these different transportation methods not just as options, but as specialized tools, where each one is designed for a very specific job. And here are the primary tools in your kit. Air is your emergency button. It's super fast, but it costs a fortune. Package carriers, your FedEx and UPS, are the lifeblood of e-commerce. Then you've got trucks, which offer just unmatched flexibility for door-to-door service. They dominate domestic shipping, whether it's a full truckload or TL, or a smaller shipment, what we call less than truckload or LTL. Rail and water are your heavy lifters, your workhorses for bulk goods where cost is way more important than speed. Pipeline is kind of in a world of its own for liquids and gases. And intermodal, that's the clever strategy of mixing and matching these to get the best of all worlds. Now this table, this is where it all comes together beautifully. Just look, follow the top row for air. You get very fast speed, but look at that very high cost. Now drop your eyes all the way down to water. It's the complete opposite. Very slow speed, but very low cost. It's an almost perfect inverse relationship. A brand new high-value iPhone? Yeah, that justifies the cost of air freight. But Saskatchewan grain that's headed for Asia? No way. That's going to travel by rail and then ship to keep the costs as low as possible. So the takeaway is crucial. The right mode is all about the product's value and the customer's urgency. Okay, let's apply this. So you're dealing with a high-value, highly perishable product, and your customers are demanding. This means speed and reliability are absolutely everything. Cost is a secondary concern. So if you look back at that chart, what makes sense? Well, air freight is the obvious primary choice, maybe with some refrigerated trucks at the end for that final delivery from the airport. You simply cannot risk that beautiful salmon spoiling by putting it on a train for 4 days. All right, so we have our toolkit, we know the different modes, now we need a game plan. Let's look to how these modes actually connect to form a transportation network. This is really the next strategic layer up. These are some of the fundamental blueprints you can use. You can ship direct from a supplier to a customer. Super simple, but it gets really expensive for small orders. You can use what we call milk runs, where one truck makes multiple stops to pick up or drop off, consolidating those small orders. You can use a classic distribution center, or DC, which is like a warehouse for holding inventory. Or you can use a cross-dock to keep products moving constantly without ever storing them. And of course, the most sophisticated companies, they use a tailored hybrid approach of all of these. And here we go again, you can see that same core trade-off at play. A classic distribution center lets you pool all your inventory in one place, which is super efficient, but it also adds cost and an extra handling step. A cross-dock, on the other hand, is built for pure speed and responsiveness. It eliminates storage costs, but it requires an incredible amount of coordination. So the right design depends entirely on what you're trying to achieve. Are you saving costs, or are you focused on rapid fulfillment? Let's think about a company like Walmart. What is their business model? They sell massive volumes of predictable, fast-moving stuff like toothpaste and paper towels. They don't need to store this stuff for weeks on end.
Their entire goal is to get a full truckload in from a supplier like P&G, immediately break it down, and put those goods onto other trucks that are headed directly to the stores. Cross-docking is the absolute perfect tool for their high-volume, low-cost competitive strategy. It's all about velocity.
So we've covered the tools, the modes of transport. We've covered the game plans, the network designs. Now let's get into the playbook. These are the practical, day-to-day decisions managers have to make to turn all that strategy into reality. If you remember one thing, one single thing from this briefing, let it be this. Your transportation strategy has to support your company's competitive strategy. It's not optional. If your company competes on being the cheapest option, you design a transportation network for maximum efficiency. If you compete on being the fastest, like Amazon Prime, you design for responsiveness, and you just accept the higher costs that come with it. Your transportation choices are a direct reflection of how you choose to win in the marketplace.
Now, this is a huge decision every company faces. Do we do it ourselves, or do we hire an expert? Owning your own fleet of trucks gives you the ultimate control, but it is a massive, massive capital investment, and it can be really inflexible when your demand goes up or down. Outsourcing to what we call a third-party logistics provider, or a 3PL, gives you incredible flexibility and access to their technology and scale. The trade-off? While you're placing a core part of your customer experience into a partner's hands. Look, no modern logistics operation can run on spreadsheets anymore. It's just too complex. A transportation management system, or TMS, is basically the brain of the whole operation. This is the software that finds the most efficient routes, it consolidates shipments to save money, it tracks everything in real time, and it handles the incredibly complicated world of freight billing and payments. This is how you manage all that complexity at a massive scale. And finally, in today's world, your network can't just be efficient. It has to be resilient. You have to ask, what happens when a port closes down or a snowstorm shuts down a major highway? Good managers are using technology for visibility, and they always have backup plans ready to go. They build networks that can bend without breaking. Okay, so let's bring this all together. What is the single most important idea that you should walk away with from this briefing? This is it. This is the big idea. You have to stop thinking of transportation as just another cost, just another line item on an expense report that you need to cut. You need to start seeing it for what it truly is, a powerful, strategic weapon. It's how you actually deliver on your promises to customers. It's how you enable your company's growth. It is a source of true competitive advantage. So, as you all move forward in your careers, I'm going to leave you with this one question. Every single business has to make a choice. Will your company prioritize being the fastest and most responsive, or will it prioritize being the most efficient and cost-effective? Because excelling at one almost always means you have to compromise on the other. The answer to that question will define your transportation strategy and ultimately a huge part of your success.